And welcome everybody to the Daily Space Weather. We've got geomagnetic storm conditions slowly subsiding, a bunch of flares, a bunch of sunspots. It's a madhouse. Here at the Smash News Network, least busted name in news, let's get to some more imagery of the closest star. 94 angstroms is a great wavelength through which to figure out where solar flares came from. We've even seen some coronal mass ejections. Will they be earthly directed or not? Well, you'll have to wait until our next space weather video premieres in order to find that out. But we see some flares coming from region 2962 and 2957, it looks like. We have seen sunspot 2958 actually sort of regain some magnetic complexity here and then shrink again. Sunspot 2961 has degraded a little bit. Sunspot 2960 is quite gargantuan, larger than the Earth, and 2962 is looking promising. I think it may decide to grow in the next 24 hours. Here's the northern hemisphere. Some great imagery there in 94 angstroms. A little bit of flaring activity there showing up. Some C-class flares have occurred. Here's the south, where the majority of the sunspots are located at the moment. Again, we are expecting sunspot 2962, the one in the northeast, to grow in the next 24 hours. And it's just based on some magnetic data we've been looking at. Again, we'll look at that in our next space weather video as well. Here's 304 angstroms ionized helium. We've got some interesting prominences up there in the northeast. And when we do more in-depth analysis here, we'll talk about the coronal mass ejections that have occurred, where they're headed, and some oddities with them. The radial flux now up to 120 solar flux units. And for all of you grand solar minimum enthusiasts, this upward line right here is the death of your grand solar minimum hypothesis. So I think we're at 84 consecutive days with sunspots. The grand solar minimum hypothesis is dead. You can make it official if you like. You can make it official or not make it official. I'm not really too concerned with it. Now, we have seen periods of geomagnetic storm and geomagnetic unrest. It should be a great day on Twitter, twitter.com/smashamash, to share images and videos of aurora. Check it out. We also have an earthquake drought going on. I just wanted to show you some historic earthquake droughts here. So going back to 2010, 2010 featured a decent earthquake drought between October and the end of the year. There's 2011. There was a decent earthquake drought there between April and June. 2012 featured a long drought, and then it featured a series of large quakes. So keep in mind, folks, any earthquake can be a foreshock. There's 2013. And I'll just go through the preceding years here, just to give you an idea of what 7 magnitude earthquake droughts look like. Very long one there occurred in 2017. Also a very long one in 2018, around the same time of year, interestingly enough. 2019 featured a pretty lengthy earthquake drought also, between July and November. Last year was a little more consistent, and there's this year to date. So earthquake drought happening at the moment for 7 magnitude earthquakes. No major quakes over the past 24 hours. Some in the mid-5 range, like that 5.5 at Bande Aceh. Also, Tonga seeing some quakes. Japan seeing a 5.1. There's another 5.5 in Mexico. Is that perhaps a foreshock? And the most recent of the decent-sized quakes was this 5.5 in Argentina. We'll also do a brief rundown of volcanoes. We've got a returner to the list now. First, Suminose-jima producing a 4,000-foot ash plume as it explodes. Langila now back on the list on the Isle of New Britain in the Papua New Guinea archipelago. Flight level 100. It's a 10,000-foot ash plume as Langila explodes. Semeru. 14,000-foot ash plume from Semeru over East Java, Indonesia. Fuego exploding. Flight level 150 over Guatemala. Nevado del Ruiz, a historically beefy volcano located in Colombia. Also exploding. Flight level 200 from Nevado del Ruiz. It's a 20,000-foot ash plume. Ecuador featuring two volcanoes, both exploding. Sangay producing a 21,000-foot ash plume, and Revenador a 16,000-foot ash plume. Sabancaya exploding, flight level 240 from Sabancaya, as it explodes over Peru. Please don't pole vault the caldera. And please do visit the links below the video. They are there to support the Smash team. Smashomash.com. Again, you can find links in the description. In the meantime, I've been your host, Dan, a.k.a. Smashomash, signing off from the Smash News Network, least busted name in news.